from the last time I saw you, bruv, there was a time after that I thought, they think I'm done, bruv. Like, I'm not gonna say who it was, yeah, because I don't want to draw anyone out, but someone that I've really looked up to, like, in my career and growing up, I watched them say something, bruv, on an interview and say, like, they actually said, bruv, is Yungen finished now? Do you know what? One of the big, I don't know if we can call this a lesson. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's a lesson. I've realized sometimes you're not as big as you think you are until you have a moment like what I've had with Bestie, and I was like, wow, like maybe this is what it's really like to feel big. Do you know what I mean? And then, but then I also know there's so much bigger now, if that makes sense. Like, I remember, like, I had 8 or 9, for example, and I remember feeling like I had the biggest street tune, and I remember feeling like I'm massive now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, without saying it, or I remember feeling like I could go to a show and I'm massive now. Like, they know this song. And there's a lot of shows I went to and they didn't know it. Like, and that's me telling the gods on the truth with you. Like, there's a lot, even like now, there's loads of shows I go to and I do 8 or 9 and they're looking at me like, yeah, bro, we didn't come in for this. Like, do you know what I mean? But a song like, having the success I've had with my last track, I can go anywhere now and they know it. But then there's still, I say that, but then there's still places I go and they're looking at me like, yeah, we don't really know this. There's, like, you're never too big. Yeah, you're never, do you know, there's always more, bruv, if that makes sense. And also, like, just, and this might sound so cliche, but you never give up, bruv. Because like I said, from the last time I saw you, bruv, there was a time after that I thought, they think I'm done, bruv. Like, I'm not gonna say who it was, yeah, because I don't want to draw anyone out, but someone that I've really looked up to, like, in my career and growing up, I watched them say something, bruv, on an interview and say, like, they actually said, bruv, is Yungen finished now? And I thought, what? Like, people actually think I'm done. Like, and that day was the, no, I'm not done, you know. Like, hold on, they actually questioned this. Cool. I remember that interview is always gonna stay, and I spoke to him about it already. Like, and he was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. And I knew he didn't mean it like that. He was saying that people would be asking that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is he done now? Like, and I thought, raw, is that a question? And then, but then that made me realize, like, made me think of so many people that's come and they've had a few years and they've had a bit of success, and then they go, it's over. And I'm like, yeah, I'm never being that kid, man. Like, I'm never being that guy, man. I'm never giving up. I wanna be here for years, like the Giggs is and the Wretches and Skepta and these people that have been here for years, bruv. Like, that's not always been at the peak, not always been the biggest, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, but they're here. They drop something, you're listening, bruv. Krept and Conan, like, do you get what I mean? They could go away for 2 years and come back and everyone stops what they're doing to go and listen. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be one of them guys, bruv. Like, and that's because of my passion, bruv. Like, I wanna be one of them guys. Like, I'm just trying to understand it, man. So that's probably one of the biggest lessons, isn't it?
Jeez, brother.
My G.
How do you do this one, bro?
Huh?
Do we keep up the standards?
How we get the standards, of course.
Yeah?
Of course, bruv. I told you with you, yeah, I always feel like I can be like 100% honest, bruv. Like, there's not a lot of people that, it's always like usually like, yo, this, that, and that. Like, with you, I feel like you care and you're actually, you see, like, even you bringing up Chosen, bruv. Like, that just shows me, like, yeah, you care, bruv. That means a lot, bruv. So, man, one more thing, and I really want to touch on this, yeah. It's been so crazy for me, yeah, because you gotta remember, I'm a kid. I come from an estate, bruv. Like, I come from, like, proper the streets, bruv. Like, not saying that I'm the baddest boy in the world. I'm not saying that I've been the bad boy or I've been like I'm not saying that, yeah. But I've come from the streets, bruv, the proper roads, bruv. Like, my brethren are in jail and dead and all of that. Do you know what I mean? And I've come from that. And I remember at the start, everyone was like, you should make girl tunes. You should make girl tunes. And I'm like, what? Do you know where I come from? Like, that's not, we don't care. Like, that's not my thing. Right now, this is all I know. And I go and I have ain't on nothing. That's a street success. Yeah, but that's just being me, just being on my ends. Sneakbo, who's my friend, doing a song with my friend. Like, it's not a forced collaboration. Like, and then everyone going, no, you shouldn't be doing that. And I remember hearing that, hitting that brick wall, like, yeah, this tune's hard, but you don't need to do that. You need to do girl songs. Bro, I go on and I finally get to a place in my life, I'm not involved in that no more. Like, I don't live on the estate no more. If I be talking estate stuff, I'll be lying to you. Even though I go to my block all the time. But if man's on the block with 100 man, I'm lying. Bro, I'm not. Bro, I'm doing strolls, I'm in the studio, I'm linking girls, yeah, I'm overseas. Like, but I get to this point now where I can actually finally feel comfortable to make her take my number, for example. And then they go, oh, why are you making girl songs? And it's like, and I'm talking industry. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And I never forget, like, after Comfy and that, everyone was like, yo, make Grand. But I've made Comfy because I like the beat. And I love spitting, bro. So when I go and make Comfy, it's just spraying. I had fun doing that. But I also love Take My Number. Do you get what I mean? And everyone was going like, do Grime. And I'm like, no, I don't want to stay in one lane. That's not me. I've done 8 on 9. I've done Comfy. I've done Take My Number. I've done Bestie. I've done All Night. They're all different sort of songs. Do you get what I mean? I've done Off the Record 2. Do you get what I mean? Like, Off the Record 1 and 2, like, do you get what I mean? There's people, and like you said, you come to Coco, you see that there's people that's there for Off the Record, bruv. We're coming to hear you do Off the Record, youngs. Like, people even now tweet me, like, coming up to this up and coming tour, like, make sure you do Off the Record, like, make sure you do Hometown. Like, people want to hear me do that. But yeah, one thing, you can't always please everyone, man, and you just got to be happy within yourself, like. And I'm proper happy. Like, when I made Bestie, I never thought, oh, is this a risk? Like, never thought that. I put out Bestie because I thought it was a banger. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the God's honest truth. I put out All Night because I feel it's a banger. Do you know what I mean? Put out Chosen same way because I feel it's a banger. Like, I never want to be like, put out something just because I feel like, oh yeah, let's try that. And I'm lucky, I'm blessed to have a team that just allow me to do that. You know what I mean?